The podcast you're about to hear will inspire, innovate, give you insight, and take you on the wings of leadership. This is why we call it the I3L. Inspiration, innovation, insight, and leadership. Get ready to embark on the journey to greatness with Kayode Oguta.
Hi, welcome again to the I3L podcast. My name remains Kayode Oguta. It's lovely to see you. Last week we spoke about the hope dispensers, and today we're speaking about the leader as a learner. The leader as a learner. You know something? If there's one thing I can predict is if you are not learning, you are never going to be a leader. So exceptional leaders are exceptional learners. And you're going to learn from the past, you're going to learn from the present, you're going to learn even from the future. Yes, that's what Marshall Goldsmith speaks about when it's about feed forward. You're going to be learning what's going to take place in the future. Let's learn how to win in the future. So if you are not learning, you are not going to be leading. So today, I want to be talking about very briefly about the leader as a learner, and what I want to challenge you to understand is the fact that you must learn to win. Sir Hillary, the first man that walked upon Mount Everest, was also one of those guys who spoke about everything about learning. In this age of Google, any leader that isn't learning is what is failing. You're not standing still. You're actually failing. You're going backward. I mean, those days, it's not like you're on the treadmill that you're just on one spot. No, you're actually going backwards. So things are changing so fast that what you learned 5 years ago isn't relevant any longer today. It's become obsolete. When I start my training, I ask them, what are the factors of production? They tell me land, capital, entrepreneurship. And they just tell everything. And I ask them, what land does Google have? What land does Facebook have? You understand? Things have become so obsolete that if you're not changing, even you will become a relic of the past. So everybody has access to the same information, but very few people can make better value from it. So it's only those who are learning from information that is taking place. I mean, if you want to talk about leadership today, you can just Google leadership, and you probably have over 3 billion response from Google. But how do you learn from that? So you have to find a targeted way of learning, because everybody has access to information, and that's the reason why data and analytics have become one of the major things in which companies actually win. There was this story I heard about how Target in America can predict if a lady is pregnant, and they found out that pregnant women are their most profitable customers. So they want to predict if a lady is pregnant, how would they predict it? And once they predict a lady is pregnant, they go after her. It's an amazing thinking. It's amazing thought process, amazing learning that takes place from human behavior. And once you know it, it's fine. I mean, people at your company will get better, and you would do well. So it's important for leadership to understand, and for all exceptional leaders or all exceptional leaders in the making to understand that for you to be an exceptional person, you've got to be a leader. Most people stop learning when they left school, and I hope you're not like one of them. You're not like one of those most people. And the truth is that once you stop learning, you have stopped becoming valuable. Most organizations will not take someone who has, because you have an MBA or you went to school, it's not as valuable as it was like 5 years ago. No. What's more valuable today is what you know, what you've learned over time. So learning is the ability to expand our knowledge, increase our skills, or improve our approach and innovate with ideas. Learning is the ability to expand our knowledge, increase our skills, improve our approach, and innovate with ideas. So all learners turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones. So now when you are learning, you're going to try to find ways to expand your knowledge about the matter. So if you're in medical field, you understand what's your knowledge. You cannot be using 20th century tools on the 21st century. My younger brother one day went to a procedure in Canada, and he was bleeding internally, and they had to send something into the place and dismantle that bleeding. And it was an amazing thing, because I know that if it was in any other place, in any other culture, or in any other climb, or most climbs in the world, they would have had to go there physically to go and do that, and that would have been extremely expensive. But you see, learning has taken place in saying that, look, we could target somewhere and we will not even need to go there physically. It's an amazing technology, amazing thing. In these days of AI, these days of machine intelligence, artificial intelligence, robotics, learning is really, really powerful. And the truth, I always tell people that if you're not learning, you'll become replaced by a robot very, very soon. So if you don't want to be replaced, my challenge for you that you would keep learning. Zig Ziglar said something. He said, if you're willing to learn, no one can stop you. If you're unwilling to learn, no one can help you. That's a powerful statement from Zig Ziglar. So before I go, let me just talk to you about 7 things which I understand about learning. Number 1, learning. Expertise is the name of the game now. It trumps experience. Expertise is the name of the game. What do you have expertise in? Not what you have experience in. You have experience, it doesn't really matter. 6 months in an organization, you have experience that someone has spent 5 years or 10 years has. So, but what expertise do you really have? What expertise do you really have? And expertise is the name of the game. So people are looking for people who have expertise, and expertise can only be gotten from deep knowledge, from deep learning. Now, number 2 thing I want to talk to you about the learning leader is the fact that there's no failure, just learning experiences. There's no failure, just learning experiences. When a leader understands that he has never failed, but every experience is always a learning experience, know what happened, know why it happened, why did you fail, so that you will be able to know why you failed, then you will be able to stop that failure from repeating itself. It was a famed man who said something. He said, I never found a way to fail. I only found 9,000 ways in which something wasn't going to work. So every failure is what? It's just a learning experience. Number 3, learning is a no-fail approach. When you learn, you always win. So whenever you're learning, you're always going to be a winner. So don't think that some people say, oh, look, what is it there to learn? It's going to be relevant any day. No, it's a no-fail approach to life. And once you keep learning, you have to keep building on what you have learned. You just keep learning, you just keep getting better, and everything would win. Now, number 4 thing I want to talk to you about learning as a leader is that learning is a strategy to win. Learning is a strategy to win. Most times it's important to learn. You learn what's taking place in the atmosphere, in the environment. You learn what's taking place politically. You learn how humans behave. Learning is just a strategy to win. If you're going to win, you go to learn. You go to learn and go to learn. So Andy Grove, the former CEO of Intel, once said something. He said, in 10 minutes, I've gotten what you want to do. I've learned what I want to do. And he attacked a line of business. He was learning. He was learning that, yes, okay, you know what? This thing hasn't come to my industry. But if it comes to my industry, what would I do to safeguard my organization from failing? So therefore, I think that every learner has a strategy to win. So when you learn, you're learning what's taking place, you're learning about changes, you're learning about why people are changing, then you would have a feel-safe approach to learn. I also think that we should learn from failure, learn from success, and learn from others. I always tell my friends and the people I coach, I said, look, you know what? The world is too short for you to learn it all by yourself. So for instance, there was one time I became the head of an organization, a non-profit organization that had a 1,200 membership. And I needed to take it from good to great. So all I needed to do was, you know what? I just went to read what Jim Collins said about good to great. I read his book, and everything he did became a template. First who, then later why. So I did the boss analogy. Who did I want to sit in certain positions? Once I kept those positions that were very crystal clear to me, I kept them there. They all sat down there, and the organization did extremely well, in which I wanted it to do. So I did not need to go and reinvent the wheel. I did not need to go and start thinking. It's not going to help me to think. Some people have thought about the process well. It's just for me to learn from them, learn from what they have done, and win. There was a time also I was going to start a new organization. All I just needed to do was just look for a template. How E-Myth started, by Michael Gerber. He spoke about the fact that, look, the entrepreneur must be different from the person who is working. So I work on the business, not work in the business. You just learn from that. No need to think, yes, after we've created the systems, I cannot begin to think of improving the systems, but I didn't need to think about someone has worked for so many people, that's done so well, that is validated. I could just improve on it. So I learned from success. I learned from why people failed. I learned from others. I learned from, okay, in a climb, what's working, what's not working. You understand? Because there's certain things that are working in certain climbs, is not working in other climbs that are not transferable. So you learn what's working in your climb, you learn what's not working in your climb, you learn what's practical in other climbs, but it's theoretical your own climb. And once you learn it, you move on. The world is too short for you to learn all by yourself. So the 6th thing I'm talking about, that learning is the only thing that increases the ability to create and deliver change. And for you to be an exceptional leader, you must create and deliver change. Not only for you to create change that will destroy you or destroy the organization, you must also deliver on the things you want to deliver. You want to deliver on predicted beautiful future. You want to change people from where they are to where you want them to go to, or where you all agreed that you all go to. It needs learning. You have to learn to know what's working, what's not working, what can you do with, what can you not do without. You understand? You have to know what you should stop, what you should start. You have to know what you're learning from, what you should know, what's not working. So finally, the seventh one, that learning is a mindset that is a subset of the growth mindset. Learning is a mindset that is a subset of the growth mindset and positions us for success. So, the growth mindset, talk about further that all those that have the growth mindset, you understand that Carol Dweck spoke about is fact that you say they're all learners. They always just keep learning, just keep learning, just keep learning. So learning is a mindset that is a subset of the growth mindset and positions us for what? For success. So if you're a learner as a leader, you are going to win. Before they used to talk about the fact that leaders are learners. Now, exceptional leaders are exceptional learners. You got to learn. How do you learn? How do you learn? How do you make it stick? How do you learn about human behavior? How do you learn about behavioral change? How do you learn about change management? How do you learn about impact? How do you learn about changes? How do you learn about political upheaval? How do you learn about technological disruptions? How do you learn? Exceptional leaders are exceptional learners. I challenge you to be an exceptional learner this week and for the rest of your life, and you will find out that you will always be valuable and you will always be needed as a leader. God bless you.